Listen up, Celtic drop points at home, Iheanacho rattles the bar, Rodgers says he's happy, and Calmac's got a message every single supporter needs to hear. But here's the thing, the last bit of news I've got for you today is by far the most important, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Stick with me till the very end. Massive thanks to you for helping us smash 1,000 subscribers. But that's just the start. With more than 2,000 views on every story, if you hit subscribe right now, we'll fly past 9,500 subscribers, all backing the Celtic. Let's prove once again that our support is miles beyond anything the Rangers could ever muster. We have 6 news a day to keep you updated with the mighty Celtic. Hit that subscribe button and be part of it. Let me tell you how it went down at Parkhead, because this one had the lot: frustration, protests, and even the woodwork rattled more than a window on a stormy night in Glasgow. The Celtic faithful turned up ready to make a point, and trust me, they did. That first of the planned silent protests, it gave the place a strange, eerie feel. Paradise wasn't its usual cauldron. It was like someone had pressed the mute button on the Green Brigade. And the board, well, they'll have felt every bit of that silence as much as they feel the chants of "sack the board" that roared out at full time. You don't get away with messing around when you've got a support like ours. We see everything, and we say it louder than anyone. But here's the problem. The team on the park weren't exactly giving us reasons to break the silence. Last season, we were flowing like the Clyde, but right now, we're stuttering like a taxi driver trying to get up Sucky Hall Street in the rain. Hearts have now nicked top spot, and while they'll be celebrating like they've won the Champions League, you and I both know they'll crumble when the pressure's on. Still, that makes the Braga game in Europe massive. We need to turn up in a big way. Kelechi Iheanacho, bless him, had the chance to shut it all down early doors. Dyson Maeda whipped in a lovely cutback. McGowan's diagonal split the defense, and bang, Iheanacho smacks it straight off the bar. You could hear the collective groan right across Glasgow. Marcelo Saraki wasn't far off either, firing a thunderbolt that nearly took the paint off the post, while Calmac tried his luck from 20 yards, stinging the keeper's gloves. It's not that we weren't trying, it just wouldn't fall for us. Second half, more of the same. Iheanacho again. An inch away from connecting with a cutback, then he sticks one in the net only to see the flag go up. It was close, but no joy. Brendan Rodgers must have had enough, because by the 74th minute, he'd hooked the whole front line. A bold move, but you know what? It nearly worked. Paulo Bernardo came on, rattled a volley that was tipped away, then saw a header float onto the roof of the net. Johnny Kenny even forced a save late on, but still no breakthrough. By the end, the boos were ringing, and that tells its own story. The roar of paradise wasn't just muted by the protest, it was muted by frustration at seeing chance after chance wasted. And here's the thing I want to ask you. Do you think Iheanacho is the man to lead our line going forward? Or is it time Brendan Rodgers bites the bullet and splashes the cash in January for a proper goal machine? Hit that subscribe button, lads. Let's jay it loudly till we hit 1,500 man. Celtic Dafts. Well, you'll have heard it yourself. Another day of Celtic controlling every blade of grass at Paradise, but walking away with only a single point against Hibs. And Rodgers says he's happy with the performance, but I'll tell you what, there wasn't a lot of happiness in those stands when the full-time whistle went. From the first kick, we had Hibs penned back, Calmac pulling the strings, the ball zipping about, the green hoops camped in their half. Luke McCowan had a pop, Dyson Maeda nearly nicked one, and Saraki struck like a man who fancies scoring screamers for fun. But every single time, that keeper Salinger was there, turning into prime Buffon out of nowhere. And of course, Grant Hanley at the back for them, throwing himself in front of everything like his life depended on it. Rodgers tried to freshen it up. Balikwisha, Bernardo, Negrin, Wee Jamesy Forrest, Johnny Kenny, you name it, they were all on. But the problem was the same. We looked like a side that could play all day and still not find the net. Twice now at home this season, we've drawn blanks. That's not Celtic football. That's something you expect from the mob across the city, grinding out goalless draws and calling it progress. Meanwhile, hearts of all teams are strutting about like world beaters, pumping Falkirk 3-0 and nicking top spot off us by 2 points. Fair play to them for enjoying their moment in the sun, but you and I know the Jambos will melt faster than a 99 ice cream on a hot day in George Square once the pressure cranks up. Still, the fact they're even ahead of us for now will sting every Celtic fan sitting in paradise. Rodgers' take after the match was calm enough. He reckons we dominated every metric, that our pressing was sharp, possession was smooth, and defensively, we're rock solid. And he's right about that, by the way. Only one league goal conceded all season is no small feat. But the killer instinct missing, and he knows it. You can see it in his eyes, even if he tries to dress it up. So here's the question that's keeping me weird up after this one. Do you honestly think Rodgers is right to be happy after another wasteful draw at home? Or is he just papering over the cracks until January when he can finally bring in a proper striker to finish the job? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, hit that. Let's guy it loudly till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic dafts. You could see it written all over Calmac's face after the final whistle. The skipper knows exactly what the problem is. Against Hibs, we played some of the slickest stuff we've managed all season. The ball zipping around, folk linking up beautifully. But at the end of the day, if you can't stick it in the net, all that fancy play counts for nothing. Calmac was honest as ever on Celtic TV. He admitted it himself. All that possession, all those moves, and yet no end product. And he's right, mate. Football's a cruel game like that. You can carve open a team 10 times, but if their keeper turns into Superman for the day, suddenly you're walking off with only a point instead of 3. Raphael Salinger had the game of his life, didn't he? And when the woodwork's against you as well, it just feels like paradise has been cursed for 90 minutes. But the captain wasn't down in the dumps about the performance itself. He actually praised the boys for how sharp we looked, especially in that first half. He said it was probably the slickest we've been this season so far, and I'd agree with him. Everything was in sync, folk were moving well, and even the lads coming off the bench slotted in seamlessly. That's the kind of fluid football you want from Celtic, the kind of play that makes you proud to wear the green and white. And look, 6 games into the league season and still unbeaten. That's not to be sniffed at. Of course, you want to win every game at Paradise because that's the standard here. This isn't some mid-table mob happy with a draw. This is Celtic. It's a results business, and Calmac said it himself. We need to keep the performances high because more often than not, if we play like that, the goals will come. Now, it's all eyes on Thursday night against Braga back at Celtic Park. Calmac made it clear he wants that same intensity, that same style of play, but this time with the ball actually ending up in the back of the net. And you know what? He's spot on. Europe's unforgiving, and we won't get away with wastefulness like we did against Hibs. So here's what I want to throw your way. Do you think Calmac's right to focus on the positives? Or should he be demanding far more from his teammates in front of goal, given the standards at Celtic? Hit that subscribe button, lads. Let's jay it, lordy, till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic duffs.